In our many visits to South Boston in 1996, the main battle seemed to be focused on rising star B.A. Wilson and veteran David Blankenship. However, the big picture over the last several years has been the success of brother combinations. With names such as Burton and Sadler enjoying the rise to the Winston Cup and Busch Series respectively, a third set of brothers loom on the horizon. In the first two races of '97, Kevin and Wayne Grubb have taken their place as a new family regime, but several heavy hitters stand in their way in their quest for the big time. Tonight, the road to Charlotte stops at South Boston. Speedway Production presents the best of the NASCAR Winston Racing Series. Tonight from the South Boston Speedway in Virginia, it's the CarQuest Twin 75s for late model stock cars. Tonight's Winston Racing Series short track coverage is brought to you by CarQuest Auto Parts Stores, by Duragloss, and by South Boston Speedway. It's a beautiful evening here in Southern Virginia. Hello everybody, I'm Buddy Long and welcome back to the South Boston Speedway here in South Boston, Virginia. Tonight, the third race of the 1997 season for the NASCAR Winston Racing Series late model stock cars.
And you had a good run here in the 90s, and you know, the first couple of races here, you were kind of wondering if that track championship was maybe a jinx, but tonight you're running real strong. You're back on track with a pole run.
Well, you know, before qualifying there, we didn't think we were back on track. You know, it just felt like the same car we had ran every race here so far, and just an average car. And for some reason, we got a good lap out of it there. And you know, it's just got to be one of them nights we got to put 75 of them together, and that's the key tonight. Is go out there and stay clean for that first race, and hopefully get you a good finish so you can run that in the second.
Three drivers getting underneath of that magical 16 flat mark, and on the pole, the defending track champion out of Glen Allen, Virginia, car number 81, the ICSE Control System Chevrolet of B.A. Wilson. Next to him, the two-time winner so far this season out of Mechanicsville, Virginia, the Bullets Pontiac, car number 55 of Kevin Grubb. Inside of row number 2, he's a former champion as well, car number 3, the Tom's Mini Mart, Pit Stop Auto Sales Pontiac, that's David Blankenship. And next to him, car number 1, the unsponsored Chevrolet of Frank Daney Jr.
Taking you back to row number 3, starting in 5th position, one of the many drivers that has changed rides in the offseason, that K95 machine, the 3 stores, 1 roof Chevy of Bubba Urban Jr., had many good runs down here in his own car last season. We'll look for good things from him this evening. The outside of row number 3, starting 6th, car number 85 of Rodney Sawyer is one of the regulars here at the Speedway, driving the D&H Contractor Chevy. Back in row number 4, starting 7th, the other half of that Grubb combination and a one-time winner in '97 in the Link Belt Pontiac, the number 4 of Wayne Grubb. And on the outside, starting 8th, driving car number 28, the Mike's Plumbing Ford, being powered by Greg Davis.
Going now to row number 5. On the inside, car number 92, the Retalix Auto Parts Pontiac, that's Chris Evans. And next to Chris in car number 2, the Sherwin-Williams KFC Pontiac out of Cluster Springs, Virginia, and that's Danny Willis. Going to row number 6 on the inside in car number 12, that's Jerry Wayne Vaughn. He picked up a feature win here last season. Dr. Dave's Engines Pontiac, car number 12. And on the outside of row number 6, car number 8, that's Steve Stallings, the Parrish Foreign Auto Exchange Pontiac, car number 8.
Taking you back to row number 7, starting 13th in car number 90, also a new ride for this driver this year, Shane Lockhart in the Reliable Communications Chevrolet. The outside of row number 7 to one of the rookies in the field. He'll start 14th in car number 7 in the People's Department Store Chevy. The engines have been fired on pit road as we take you back into row number 8. 15th on the field, a former 4-cylinder driver now making his living in the late model stock cars in car number 41, the Tri-State Chevy of Tyler McRae. And on the outside, back in 16th in car number 97, the unsponsored Chevrolet of Kevin Johnson.
Row number 9 on the inside, one of the true veterans of this division out of Durham, North Carolina. He'll be in the 04 car tonight, the Libby Hill Seafood Chevrolet, that's Jay Fogelman. And outside of Jay, in the car number 91, the latest driver to put on the driving suit for Rick Hendrick, the Rick Hendrick Chevrolet sponsored car number 91 of Jimmy Johnson. Row number 10 on the inside, car number 11, the third generation driver, the Hesco Hendrick Performance Chevrolet, car number 11, Chuck Hendrick. And on the outside, a second generation driver, the Motor Circuit Chevrolet, car number 59, Kenny Cagle.
Seems like every time I get my choice for a row, it's a driver in a brand new car as we go back to the 21st starting spot, the 01 machine of Frank Denny Jr. out of Mechanicsville, Virginia, that unsponsored Chevrolet. And on the outside in 22nd, the number 36 car of Rob Ziegler, the Adco Graphics Chevrolet. 23rd tonight, the number 20 car of Matt Williams of the Ucrops Energizer Pontiac. Starting 24th, Doki Bagby, and car number 14, the Pit Stop Auto Sales Chevrolet. Rounding out the field in 25th spot, the 02 of Dennis Gardner. He'll be in the Country Kitchen Pontiac. Turn number 4, at the very last second, the pace car will dip down to the pits, and they will wait till they almost get to the start-finish line before they get up through the gearbox and head it off into turn number 1. And we've got trouble quickly over in that second turn. 3 drivers are spinning. One of those will be the 11 of Chuck Hendrick. The 02 of Dennis Gardner is also involved, as well as the number 20 car of Matt Williams. It looks like slight contact between Gardner and also Hendrick.
Better this time.
Wilson up through that gearbox. The Beaumont, Texas driver with a couple of car lengths of an advantage as they work back into turn number 1 and 2. Single file as they go back to green here on lap number 7. Kevin Grubb holding on to second. Blankenship. Denny with a good run in car number 1. He qualified 4th. That's where he lies right now. And Bubba Urban in the K95. Looks like they're trying to get the chemistry down pat early in the season. He's right there in 5th. Battle just outside the top 5. Wayne Grubb taking a look on the inside of Rodney Sawyers. Grubb, a one-time feature winner here in the 1997 season, and Sawyers always, every time we've come down for a television race, that seems to be when he shines a lot too.
As opposed to some places where it's more of a follow the leader. There's a good battle for position.
And we've also got a battle between Wayne Grubb and, here we go, Shane Lockhart. Bubba Urban Jr., and we learned early of 1996 how difficult it was. If your car can't pass in the first couple laps underneath, and Stacy Compton alluded to it, you basically have to get back in line and wait again, try another day.
I'll let you know, in the pit area, it looks like Chuck Hendrick is done for the evening. He's parked that car nose first into the pit area and don't see a lot of action. So it looks like an early evening for the third-generation driver.
Well, at least we didn't call him Roy or Ray, because I knew that was the next problem we were going to have here this evening. With the flying number 11, some very popular colors that have been on the NASCAR series for many, many years and modified in late model stock car action. Roy was down in the pits earlier today, and kind of tough to see him sitting on the sidelines and not behind the wheel of a car.
Well, I asked Chuck. Chuck's only 22 years old. I said, is it a lot of pressure having Dad there with you, or does it help out a lot? And he said, absolutely helps him out a ton. Says his dad told him, you know, you're the person you are. You can't compare yourself to anybody else, and you've got to develop your own style. Says his dad's been very helpful. Not any pressure.
Trouble over in turn number 2. Greg Davis goes for a ride by his lonesome. It looks like the 92 of Chris Evans may have made some contact. Some damage on the front of that car, heavily smoking as he takes it down into turn number 3 and 4. And a tough break for that driver, coming from the modified series and really proven his worth in the past couple years in late model stock car action.
That's always an interesting situation. You see that happen a lot in the Winston Cup division, where a lap car gets up front there, last car on the lead lap. They try to get up front and, like you say, hope for a caution to come out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This time it does not for the 28 of Edwards. Or Davis, excuse me.
Davis with a good qualifying effort. He started up in 8th position. He's always had good runs, but just not the good luck. And again, Kevin Grubb makes the bid down to the inside. The Grubb boys have been the two that have been on the move making the challenges. We mentioned Wayne moments ago, powered into the number 5 spot around Bubba Urban Jr. Kevin still giving BA some trouble. And how about the second part of that top 10? How are things looking outside the front 5 behind Urban? It looks like a heated battle between a couple more drivers back there.
Boy, and just as you take your eyes off the front, now the front 2 heat up again. They got into each other last time by, and this time side by side. And Grubb doing a great job making that car stick on the bottom. You're seeing a great example of how a couple different grooves working in here, but BA still keeping the car wound up, beating him off the corners and down the front straightaway. And that's short track racing. You got to bind it up to get it down on the inside.
Kevin Grubb wants it. It's 40 in the record books. We've got 35 to go past the halfway point here in the first of 2 CarQuest Twin 75s here at the South Boston Speedway.
Very easily moved to the outside. B.A. Wilson going by the 14 car there. Doki Bagby.
Now that's a handle.
I want you to know, I saw the spelling of that name, and I checked with some of the other drivers to get the proper pronunciation of Doki. It is Doki.
I'm glad you got that straight, because I was going to say Dookie. I saw Dookie on the car, and I said, no, we got to get it straight.
He may do it this time out of 4.
Crowd is on their feet at South Boston Speedway. They're dead even at the stripe. They put 49 on the board. Grubb hangs it. He dirt tracks it over in turn number 1 and 2. They've got the lap car of Dennis Gardner coming up, and BA again showing the muscle on the outside as they go back into 3.
Right there on the inside, that's Wayne Grubb in the 4 car. The outside is Blankenship, and the battle for the lead now, and Grubb's going to take the top spot. The 55 car, Kevin Grubb, going to take the top spot. Look at the battle right behind him, Wayne and Blankenship, and what a great short track race here at South Boston.
Little bit of muscle in turn number 1 and 2. Puts the Bullet Pontiac of Kevin Grubb in the number 1 spot. The ICSC Chevrolet of B.A. Wilson drops back to second. Wayne Grubb We'll now move around Blankenship and into the number 3 spot in the battle brewing now
I
for
guarantee you
5th.
Kevin Grubb could come up with something to run if he's invited down. It's a neat deal and a good way for these guys to step up, get some attention. He is leaving BA on this restart. I mean, just a car length, but in this race, a car length. Two guys having a great race tonight. Right there, you see Bubba Urban Jr. get a little sideways in that K95 car, but he and Frank Daney Jr. in the 1 have had a great race, and action again, the battle for 2nd place.
Once again, it's just enough muscle by Wayne Grubb to get B.A. Wilson up in the higher groove. They'll touch again in turn number 3 and 4. Again, the crowd is on their feet. This time, it's the battle for 2nd. 66 laps are on the board on that quarter panel.
Driver we've not mentioned tonight, Danny Willis, started back in 10th place. He's up to 7th. That's at car number 2, the Sherwin-Williams KFC car. He's usually a real competitor here, but been kind of quiet so far in this first 75 lapper.
Another driver that people expect to see up front, but I think he's really happy, is David Blankenship. That's a brand new car and a brand new setup for him this year, and he has really been out to lunch struggling trying to get that combination set as we get up through the gearbox and go back to green here at lap number 72. And again, Kevin Grubb with a good jump on the restart, give him a couple of car lengths, and quickly Wayne Grubb pulls right up to the rear decklet of B.A. Wilson.
That is a fabulous restart. To have that type of lead going up the back straightaway, as tight as these cars are, that is super. That's a lot of horsepower as they're getting 2 to go this time by.
Freight train style down into turn number 1 and 2. It's Grubb, Wilson, Grubb, Blankenship, and Denny, with Bubba Urban, Danny Willis, Rodney Sawyers, Jerry Wayne Vaughn, and Steve Stallings, your top 10. One driver spinning almost identically, and this has really been a trouble spot for Matt Williams, a driver of car number 20 for the 3rd time tonight. It's almost a mirror image of what we've seen. Over in turn number 2, we'll stay with the white flag as Williams was able to get into the back pit stall, and we're coming back for the checkered flag. A tough break for Williams as he'll try to come back out on the track and finish. Kevin Grubb takes his 2nd of the 1997 season in the 1st of the CarQuest Auto Parts Twin 75s here at South Boston. Let's head down on pit road or right on the start-finish line to John Evans, who's got some words with our feature winner tonight.
You started outside the front row with John Moose here with a presentation, and I know you're happy about the win.
Yeah, I tell you, I hope one day I do get to sit on that pole. It'll make life a lot easier, during the race. You don't have to worry about passing that extra car. But, man, I really have to thank Bullets, Peterbilt Trucks for all the help they give us. Also, Morris Johnson, my crew chief, Bobby King. He's also my crew chief on the Super Trucks and also Busch Grand National. And everybody in the crew couldn't do without them. Also like to thank South Boston Speedway. They give us a great racetrack to run at. And, I've been almost everywhere on the East Coast, and this is why I decided to run every week because it's so nice.
Well, the good news is you win the 75. You're going to have to go 75 more, and we're going to find out where you start in just a moment.
Yeah, we're gonna make a couple adjustments to the car, but I think we'll be better for the second race because we're quite pretty loose during that race, and Morris will get it tightened up, and we'll be even better for the second race.